Hey there, I'm Curly, and welcome to Unfiltered and Undiscovered, the podcast where three music lifers dig into the songs, the stories, and the legends of music that may not have crossed your radar yet. But if you're new here, let me set the scene. I'm the punter, the guy who swears that the best music, the best Australian independent music, was in 1986. I've got the record collection to prove it. Now, joining me each week, I've got Braggy. He's a lifelong muso, a dreamer that's still waiting for that one song of his to go viral. He knows his stuff and he loves digging into lyrics. And of course, we've got Rossy, the roadie, the manager, and the guy with a story about every band that's ever plugged into a pub PA system anywhere from Perth to Parramatta. Together, we get unfiltered with the best undiscovered artists across Australia and occasionally the world. And occasionally, we also talk a whole lot of rubbish around artists that we already love. Let's get into it.
Hey y'all, I'm Alison Asarch from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey, I'm Sean Fraser from the Ritzy Kids Hunters.
This is Johnny from Rail Motor.
Hey, it's Shane from Blind Season.
Hey, it's Rob Stanier, and you can check out my music on all the streaming platforms.
Check out my latest music on all the streaming sites.
Check out my debut album on all streaming platforms.
Check out our new debut album.
Check us out on Spotify and Apple Music. And you're listening to our friends, Braggy and Curly.
My favorite bands from Australia.
You're listening to our friends, Braggy, Rossy, and Curly
on the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast.
All right. Hey there, it's Curly here, and welcome to episode 225 of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. We are three old blokes with one obsession, and that's music that matters. Unfiltered chats, undiscovered artists, and occasionally a dog or a child in the background, and that's okay. That's how we operate. Every week on the pod, it's guitars, grit, and the good stuff that you're not going to hear on mainstream radio. This is Unfiltered and Undiscovered, and wherever you're watching or listening, please hit that like and subscribe button. Tonight, we've got a very special guest, Davey, with us, but before we go in and introduce him, let's bring in my co-host. We've got Braggy from Adelaide, and we've got Rossy with a special guest in the background from Sydney. So how are we, boys? Let's start with Rossy. How you been?
Yeah. Oh, I'm fabulous, thanks, Curly. It's lovely to be here. I just want to say it. It's just, the world really is wonderful. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
Rossy, I see you drinking from the Roosters Cup. You're getting ready for the start of the season?
Yes, I am. It's all pretty exciting, to be honest.
Yeah, Dragons in Vegas. So let's hope the boys behave themselves and actually remember how to play football.
Yeah, they have been tipped for the spoon this year, haven't they?
Yeah, they tip us every year, I think, Rossy. So somewhere along the line, someone loses a lot of money on that bet. So
no, I always tip Souths for the spoon. I just death ride them.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
Awesome.
Well,
Braggy.
I've been out and about, Curly. I've been out and about. Thursday night, I went to see some blast from the past. I got a big Matty, my mate, who was a Pommy guy, came to visit Adelaide, and he had bought tickets to go and see Transvision Vamp. I don't know if anyone remembers them from the 80s.
I do. Wendy James.
Yeah, look, it's not my favourite.
A lot of heart.
But it was at the Gov, a great venue in Townsville. It was sold out. They were all right. They just like that power pop. It was pretty good.
Do you want my offline story about her?
Yes, I do. But I want it online.
Yeah. Mate of mine, a guy we know was tour manager when she came over in the 90s.
Yep.
His name was Sneaky Pete. And
right.
he took home the big prize for the whole tour.
Wow. There you go. No, but look, the thing I really want to talk about, Sneaky Pete, was on Sunday I went to the refurbished Theban Theatre, which is a legendary venue.
I love the Thebby.
Rossy, I'd be very surprised if you haven't been to the Thebby with some band. It's all redone. The carpet is not sticky anymore. If anyone that knows the venue, it was built, I think, around about the late 20s as a
Art Deco sort of.
Yeah, it was like a part picture theatre, part town hall, and it holds about 2,000. I went and saw Gillian Welch and David Rawlings, which I guess our guests would probably know Gillian Welch. She's kind of country, kind of that outlawy sort of country. So just two acoustic guitars. She played the banjo sometimes. Full house, 2,000 people, 3 encores, just incredible. They built this new room and like a bar, the Legends Bar, and on the roof is every act that's ever played there. I just want to tell you, this is how amazing this venue is. I just wrote down a couple. The B-52s, freaking Black Sabbath, The Clash, Devo, Jeff Buckley, Nirvana, Sex Pistols, and Weird Al Yankovic. So just threw him in there. But everybody, like, Keith Urban, everybody's, it's an incredible venue. Anyway, I thought I'd give it a plug.
It's the room in South Australia. The room.
It is the room, yeah.
Yeah, and the gig itself was pretty good.
Oh, it's amazing. So, I mean, like they travel and they hire a car. It's just them, 2 guitars and a banjo and 2 mics. So and they sell out.
Well, it's unbelievable. It's good.
They're glued, the harmonies glued together, just incredible.
I think you did tell you the difference between a trampoline and a banjo, didn't I, Braggy?
Yeah, maybe.
Many times.
Normally you take your shoes off to jump on a trampoline.
So in Southeast Queensland on the weekend, right? So we had Jason Aldean headlining the Sunburnt Country Festival in Toowoomba. Yep. We had Ed Sheeran playing at Suncorp Stadium. And the big news was we had Katie Brooke and Thor Phillips playing at the Beanley Distillery Markets. And so that's where I went. And can I just say, if you have not been to the Beanley Distillery Market here in Brisbane, it is an amazing venue. The stage is such a professional stage and does true justice to the artist. Thor Phillips, my God, the man can play. Didn't bring his dobro. I was disappointed about that. But that man can play. And Katie Brooks' voice through the 90-minute set was just soaring. She is incredible. So it's it was a really great live experience. Shame the crowd was a little bit smaller than what it probably deserved. But then again, you did have Ed on and Jason, somebody up there in Toowoomba, so I can probably understand there was a couple of conflicts. But a great venue. It was great to meet Katie. It was great to have a quick chat with Thor. And one thing I've got to give country artists, guys, I've been to many, many bands, and the banter from the microphone is missing or muffled or just doesn't happen with a lot of bands. It's almost like the music speaks for itself. But what I've found with country artists, regardless who it is, whether it's Tom Curtin, Laura Frank, or, on the weekend, Katie or Thor, their banter and their storytelling between songs is just as good as the storytelling that they're doing in their songs.
Yeah, they got storytelling.
And it's just superb, and it's just something that I really started to appreciate. So speaking about country, let's bring in our guest tonight. We've got Meet Davey, creative, who's
same sense of humor as us.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jake Davey.
So Jake is a creative force with music running deep in his veins, hailing from the mid-coast of New South Wales with authenticity, heart, relentless drive. He's carving out a place as one of Australia's most exciting and versatile country pop artists. Now, before we get started, Jake, let's get the joke out of the way. Rossy, have you been to Nashville?
Yeah, I have. What about you, Curly? Have you been to Nashville?
Yeah, I've been to Nashville.
Jake, have you been to Nashville? Jake, have you been to Nashville?
I've been to Nashville a couple times.
I've been to I don't need it. The capital is Adelaide, so they pick on me every week, Jake. But that's okay. One day I'll get there.
Will you,
anyway,
will you, Braggy?
I will. Jake, it's good to have you on. This is the first time you've been on, so we always like to start when we've got a new guest. We want to find out when music first became a thing for you. How young were you? When did it first enter your life? And you went, "Holy shit, this is for me."
Yeah, I was probably 5 or 6, and Santa brought me an acoustic guitar for Christmas, and it's kind of an interesting present to give a 6-year-old. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of looked at it and I was like, "What is this?" You know, I had no idea what. You know, with a toy when you're 5 or 6, you just want to like open it up and play with it. But with a guitar, you're like can't do anything except like hit it and kind of strum it and make no noise. And I don't know. There's just something in that moment that I looked at it and I said, I'm going to accept this challenge and figure it out, and started playing guitar basically straight away, singing from about 12, gigging from 13, opened up a studio when I was 17, and it's 13 years later, and I've been living my dream ever since.
Wow. So was one of your parents into guitar? Is that why you got the guitar? Did you ask for the guitar?
I think Dad put a good word into Santa to make it happen.
That's lovely, because Santa's good like that.
Yeah, he shows up. No, Dad was very into music, so was Mum, but then neither of them played.
Right.
But I think Dad claims that he played the organ growing up, which I don't know why you'd do that. It seems like a very, chase piano or guitar, and then you can kind of learn organ after that. But he lays claim to the organ. But I just we all just loved music, and I guess they wanted to kind of give me the chance to learn it and get amongst it. I didn't think they ever thought I was going to get this far with it.
Wow.
What music were you listening to as a 5-year-old?
Exclusively the Hooly Doolies.
Hey, can I just say the Hooly Doolies were my daughter is 28, and they were the thing for me. They were so much better than the Wiggles.
Yeah, I'm a 96 baby, so the Hooly Doolies were like...
Yeah.
We are the
she's
Hooly
97,
Doolies.
So. We're off in the fire truck this morning. My sister and me.
I mean, kids' music is like so catchy. So,
yeah, I was listening to a songwriter the other day, and he's talking about how it was actually Mark Knopfler. I was listening to him talk, and he's like going, when you start writing the song part of it, it's kind of a nursery rhyme.
It is. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
So Jake, you've had there's a couple of key things I just want to talk about first, and then Braggy usually dives into some lyrics and whatnot, and we talk a little bit more about the music. But 2023, life-changing spinal cord injury. So what's and obviously when you face something like that, I couldn't imagine what was going through your mind, but you've bounced back from that, and you're now very successfully building a music career. So walk us through that sort of journey before we...
Pun intended.
Well, it actually wasn't.
That was awesome. I love that. Walk us through that.
No.
Yeah. I have a dark sense of humor. 2.5 years ago, long story short, my disc at L3 and L4 burst and crushed my spinal cord. And after L3, L4, your spinal cord turns into basically, it looks kind of like a horse's tail because the nerves are so thin. They call it the cauda equina. And so I have cauda equina syndrome. So the disc burst, pinned my spinal cord in my tunnel, and took out my legs. They got me at 36 hours of severe compression, and at 40 hours, you're a paraplegic for life. So I'm basically dealing, the easiest way to understand it is like I'm a walking paraplegic. That's kind of the best way to explain it. And for the first year, I couldn't feel like anything from my knees down. Like my legs were gone. And then they've like slowly, like when I walk on grass now, I can feel the blades, and still super weird. But yeah, I was in hospital in the spinal recovery unit in John Hunter, Newcastle for 4 months. And it was such a dark time. Like I was 26, 27, and I was busy with music and my career, and things were going well. And then all this happened, and I basically like went bankrupt. And this is pretty crazy. The country music community and my family and friends raised like $50,000 for me to like basically give me a year to just live and not have to worry about paying my bills. So shout out to every single person that donated. It was just when you go down like that, you don't realize how special the country music community is. Like, it just, I was laying in that hospital bed with no way to turn, nowhere to look, and I had no way out. And the messages beyond the money, like that helped me survive. But the messages and people showing up, and like even to this day, people like, how are you doing? Like, really, how are you doing? And it's just been such a life-changing experience. And I'm still trying to figure out how I can kind of dive into that more in my career and kind of help other people that go through the same thing. But it's pretty crazy.
Wow. Well, that explains the song Second Chance right off the bat. But then we move forward to your latest release, Workin On Me, which it says in your thing it's kind of a personal song for you. So what's the things that you weren't happy with yourself?
I mean, I don't think I wasn't happy. It was like, I think we can, there comes a point in our life as men in particular that we go, it's time to grow up, and you can kind of keep living for yourself and being selfish and, having late nights and having bad habits and all those kind of things. So I basically just, over the past 5 or 6 years, been trying to clean up my act, and nothing too crazy, just regular human things. But I think we all have our bad habits, and I think we can all do better. So that's kind of a song about that. But in particular, Grace, my wife, walked into the studio in March last year and held up a COVID test and said, baby. And I was like, oh, thank God you don't have COVID. We're having a baby. Yeah.
That's very good.
And like the doctors literally told me I wouldn't be able to have kids with my spinal cord injury and all this. It's a long-winded story, but in that moment, I was just like, oh my God, I've been given this beautiful blessing of like a wife, a baby on the way. It's time to show up.
Yeah.
Free fall, a lost cause, a wrecking ball that don't stop. Didn't know the end from the beginning. I was alive, but I wasn't really living. There you were, a North Star, a fresh start, getaway car. Like gravity, you took me in. And ever since then, I've been working on making the time for the things that matter. Learning the ways I can love you better. Finding the truth and searching for a deeper meaning. Saying goodbye to my old bad habits. Patching up this heart so you can have it. Working on being the kind of man you need. That's why I'm working on me. I'll be a straight shot.
That's the...
Could often be the catalyst, though.
Yeah. I mean, that's the great thing about music is that, I mean, I listen to these songs, haven't not really listened to your stuff before, Jake. And I think, man, what's the story here? Second chance, and then he's working on. Well, now I can see if there's a point in your life where you might walk again, and then you do, man, I'd be freaking out there doing partying for sure, and worrying about me because I can, So it makes a lot of sense, and so you produced that yourself as well. It's just pretty slick production.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Rossy. Thanks, Braggy.
That's right.
Yeah, right here in this chair in little old Taree. Yeah, so I've been co-producing my stuff for the past 10 years, and I was like, I've got a Telecaster, I've got an acoustic guitar, I've got a bass, I can figure it out. And so I just started kind of adding layers and mixing. I am actually a mix engineer for a bunch of other artists, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to take the reins here and take the lead. And it worked out. I'm glad you like the mix.
Yeah.
It sounds very, very polished, man. Very polished.
Thanks, Rossy. I appreciate that, mate.
Yeah.
A lot of love went into it.
And you wrote that in Nashville, I'm assuming with a couple other people. So is that one of those things where you all get together in a room and everyone, you break into twos or threes? And is that what that was from?
So I basically went each year. I go for a writing trip to the country music capital of the world, Nashville, and
Yeah.
And I get over there and I aim to write between 5 and 20 songs in a 3-week period. And this particular write was do you guys know Brooks and Dunn?
Yes.
Was at Ronnie Dunn's publishing house. So my mate Dakota Striplin is signed to his publishing company. And so we're in there. I'm like, does Ronnie ever come in here? He's like, yeah, every couple of days he visits. I'm just like, what is going on? Anyway, Dakota is a dad to 2 beautiful kids, and Charles, the other co-writer, isn't. Yeah. He doesn't have kids yet. So there was Charles who didn't have kids, me who had a kid on the way, and Dakota who had 2. So we had a really cool, unique perspective coming from all 3 of us about manhood and kind of growing up and figuring it out and being there for our loved ones. So yeah, I was really proud. It came together pretty quick. They're great writers, and I just kind of laid my heart on the line, and we got the song.
Yeah, because that was going to be another of my questions. Like, when you write a personal song, I don't know. It's different. You just explained to me why it wasn't, but I think I'd find it tricky if I had other people. Like, if it was really personal about me. But I guess other people go through the same thing, like you just explained. So
it's a universal language in music, and I think that it's cool to be super specific, but I'm not at that point in my career where I can be super detail oriented. I want to write a song that people can connect with, and I can be a little bit more general about it. A good example, Morgan Evans' latest song, Steel Town, it's literally about roads he grew up on and the car color he drove, and it's very niche. Whereas I don't think I'm quite there with my career where I can just be my favorite color is yellow and whatever it is, you know what I mean? I try to write so people can put themselves in my shoes.
Yeah, fair enough.
But a lot of the writers of Americana do that sort of stuff. They don't. They like that whole genre of people writing about, like America owns it. The roads and the streets and the cars and the street songs, like the Springsteen-y view of the world and stuff. When you hear those songs, you're kind of transported to where those guys write from. And Australia's got those same roads and places, right? Taree's a lovely spot.
It is. It sure is.
Yeah, Taree rhymes with a lot of things.
Rhyme for Taree, yeah.
Any stories about Taree Rossy?
I'll leave that alone.
Nothing to play on here.
So, Jay, going back through your back catalogue, you've probably written hundreds more songs than you've put up there. It seems to be almost one every year. So, are we following that, which is the modern sort of format, put out a single like Rossy and I always talk about, or would you ever like to make a bigger piece of art, as in, I'm talking about an album?
Time this question perfectly. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's basically after my back happened, I was like, okay, it's time to rest, make a plan, and hit it. So I kind of started that plan late last year, and this will be Workin On Me was kind of the second single out of that plan, with 2 more on the horizon, and then a project.
Nice. Exclusive. That's a scoop, boys.
You heard it here first. It's an ice cream scoop. Bang.
But you look at your streaming numbers. There's a couple of tracks that have really blown up. If you've got 23,000 monthly plays, you're working pretty hard to get there, right? Because that is not easy to get. The first 1,000's hard. Getting to 23,000 monthly is pretty darn hard work, right? And some of these tracks have blown up. That's an achievement in itself, right?
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. I think my biggest song is The Way She Does. I wrote that song in 20 minutes with a mate of mine out of Nashville. It's funny that my quickest song and my most least effort was 500,000 streams, and Workin On Me is already at 35,000 just on Spotify alone. But it's funny. I don't get caught up too much in the numbers. I get caught up with people stopping me in the street, or people messaging me and being like, "I love that song. That has helped me get through something tough," or "I love your journey," or whatever it is, and I want to be a part of it. So, the numbers are cool. They're great, but what's shiny to me is the human experience. And
23K generate a little bit of income too, which has got to help.
Yeah, I mean, it's streaming's always a bit tricky. I make the majority of my income through the studio and festivals. And songwriting is always great, like getting cuts with other big artists that get over millions of streams. But yeah, it's an interesting one. I've been fortunate enough to make a full-time job out of music since I was 18. So I've never had a real job. So happy days.
That is a job.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's just funny when you're 29 and people go, "Oh, how's music going?" I'm like, "It's good. I'm just."
It's what I do.
It's a very important job.
No, my favorite part about what I do is I get to help other people achieve their musical goals.
Yeah, I can get that too. It's good. It's good fun to be a facilitator as well. I love to watch other people's creative process too.
Yeah, I think everyone's music's so unique, and there's a million ways to do one thing. So collaborating is pretty special.
And you do videography as well. We talked just before we came on air about a guest we had on last week, Sarah Lynn, and you did one of her videos, which confused the hell out of Curly, which is not hard.
Yeah, I've done like 5 of her videos. Hey, it's crazy. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah. High energy, a lot of energy, Sarah Lynn.
Oh yeah, she's like an energy. She just texted me before we're talking about her. I don't know how much she's told you guys, but there's lots coming music wise.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. Did she say don't go on that show with those idiots?
Yeah. I'll send her a photo. I'll send her a photo. Smile.
So it's probably one of the very few shows where the boys didn't get much of a say in because she can talk. So
it was great.
Yeah,
that's good.
Hey, Jake, one of the things that I've, and I didn't do a deep dive into the back catalogue, but certainly some of those songs, the recent ones, and the song called "Made," for example, and et cetera, very uplifting, right? So very constructive lyrics, let's say. They're all positive. They've got a great little kick along to them. There's a bit of a vibe to them. Is that a general sense who you are as a songwriter or an artist, or do you think that as some of those life experiences that you've been through, but also potentially going to continue to go through, do you think that's got the opportunity to bring in that real steel and rust sort of image that we were talking about before with the Americana artists in America, or do you think that's going to be what you do for the rest of your career, that upbeat, inspirational to a degree?
That's a really interesting
lyric
question.
And song.
I think time will tell. I think it's so like my music is a direct reflection of where I'm at in my life. Some people, write other people's stories. Some people take on ideas and themes and concepts, and I don't do that. I just write what is literally happening in my heart, and you can hear that in my lyrics. So Made literally was about my wife dropping me off at the airport, my car blowing up, and her being like, "Get on the plane, Jake, go write songs. I love you." And then her taking care of it, and I owed her a song, so I wrote Made.
Yeah. So a lot of those streams, are they from states? You get a lot of listeners there.
They're mainly from Adelaide.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there'll be even more now. There'll be even more now that I've given it a good buzz.
Adelaide and Taree, I've just...
I feel like the New South Welshmen are ganging up on me, Curly.
That's a great question. I think the UK, Australia, and the States are kind of the main three. I think Uruguay, there's a couple of listeners down there in South America, which is. But I mean,
cool. you go there to write. Sorry, Jake. You go there to write. Are you going to go there and play, or have you?
I mean, are the border people watching?
Yeah.
As far as they're concerned, I'm just going there to write songs and hang out and drink beers.
Fair enough.
Just go walking up and down Broadway, going for a bit of a look, You
got to be super careful. Like, you got to play the game, and I think being in another country, it's very important to respect their rules and drink their beers.
Yeah. I know a Japanese band that got bounced out of Australia who didn't make it through border control this week, actually.
Truly.
Japanese band. And people complaining about it. I'm going, hang on. They didn't have a visa. They turned up with a bag full of merch. What are you like? You're complaining about people coming in. You've got to sort of sometimes you can't pick and choose who you let in. You've got to follow the rules for everyone.
And just a breakdown of those artists, just to confirm, just a couple of things. Sydney is actually top of the list there, Rossy, with 3,500 listeners, closely followed by the Brisbane folk at 3,400. Taree's not even listed, and the fifth best is Adelaide with 600 listeners.
I reckon if you work the percentages out per person, we're in front.
Little
country
pro-rata ratio. Hang on, I've got family in Adelaide.
Adelaide, it's okay.
I'll ask Spotify to change their reporting rhythm so it can be per capita.
That's funny.
Who's some of the tell us some of the people you've recorded there in your studio then, Jay? Who's like some big names?
Yeah, let me have a. Well, it's cool. Like, I'll just kind of list some people that I've worked with.
Yeah.
Between photo, film, and audio.
Cool.
I just recently worked with a guy from Big Loud, Nashville, Cassius Culpepper. He's killing it. He's got some pretty big numbers going on. Josh Setterfield is a recent one. Jane Denham, Wolf Brothers, Travis Collins, Casey Barnes, James Johnson, Melanie Dyer, Sarah Lynn, Jade Gibson, Claudia Tripp, Chelsea Berman, Piper Rodriguez, Jackson James, Kylie Jane. Woo! And the list goes on.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. That's
scratching the surface.
Whilst recording and writing and spending time in the studio producing is part of it, getting out and playing live is also a big part of it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So do you play solo or with a band? How does that work for you?
Both. Yeah. So it's just depends on where the the show is and budget and all those kind of things. And I've been fortunate enough to play festivals like Tamworth Country Music Festival. I sold out my show 4 years in a row there. Savannah and the Round, Gimpy Music Master, Meatstock, not Gimpy, bloody Groundwater. Sorry, that was in my head. Trying to get on Gimpy if you know anybody there, make it happen. It's been good. It's been busy. I love getting on stage with my band and rocking out. And I feel like we're kind of at a point now where the show's tight and we're all super comfortable with the songs and we're really glued, which is cool.
Were they the same guys that you got played on Workin On Me?
Yeah, it's interesting. I played everything but the drums.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because I have like guitars everywhere in here. This is my new one, by the way, boys.
Oh yeah, hang on a sec.
What do you reckon? Hey, come on, Rossy and Curly. As if he has a butterscotch telly, I'm gonna laugh so hard.
Oh, it's a red one. It's all right.
That's fine.
All right.
But yeah, it's good. I kind of play everything, and then I kind of send it out to people to play like dobro or like.
Let's go back in.
Yeah.
Anything like harmonies or all that kind of stuff. So I build it to a point where I can't play the instrument, then I bring people on.
Yeah. No, it's like we said before, it's a really good slick sound. You reckon sometimes with a personal song that it should be more stripped back, or I guess it doesn't really matter as long as the message gets across.
Yeah, I think for me, I love the kind of the band feel.
The band feel. Yeah.
Workin On Me was definitely a bit more stripped back compared to what I used to do. Like usually I have like guitars and layers.
I guess if you're playing solo, you just think, fuck, I just want the band. So I mean that's the chance. Like I'm currently producing my next song. It's like start with the drums, start with the concrete. I just literally track bass for it. Then I'll do acoustics, electrics, keys, and just slowly build it up and let the song kind of figure out. I let the song tell me what it needs. Yeah. Is there a specific time when you're most creative, do you think? I like to ask this question because
I'd say like 8:37 at night is pretty
late. You're a night. Okay.
I mean, from 12 o'clock onwards, I kind of light up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, girl, you're honey sweet. Top down in the Wrangler Jeep. Cut off tee and them old Levi's. You get away with that low-key style. You leave me speechless, and I can't lie. But here's a few words that come to mind. Yeah, you're cooler than California, hotter than the sun down in Daytona. You light me up like New York City, but you pull me in with your small town pretty. I didn't know who I was before you, now that you're here, I should warn you, I'm going all in if I'm gonna fall. You're one in a million, girl, you've got it all.
And how's it being a dad? What's your child's name?
Dalton.
Dalton.
Yeah.
That's a Western name.
Thank you. I had Colton, and my wife's like, "No, it sounds too old." I was like, "What about Dalton?" And she's like, "I love it." And that was like 3 months before he was born. We were on the way to hospital, and she's like, "Do we have a name?" I was like, "Dalton." She's like, "Love it." That's him.
That's cute.
That's a cutie.
So cool.
He's not bad. I get to look at that little photo all day, every day. Yeah, he's 4 months old now, and he's squeaking heaps, and he's super happy, and his smile melts me. And I know he's going to get away with murder, but I wish I did it sooner. He's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Just teach him to load.
Yeah. My daughter could roll up a lead when she was 5 or 6.
Good. That's exactly how it works.
Yeah.
It's got to earn their keep as soon as possible.
Yeah,
right.
I'll take her in the next morning to load out, Dad, why is the
That's
carpet
right.
why is the carpet so sticky?
Never mind. Just grab the drum kit.
That's it.
So Jake, when you do play live, is it always with the band, or do you do solo shows as well?
Both. Yeah, I'd say both.
Okay. So where did you play in Tamworth? What was there? And you've done it 4 years in a row?
Moonshiner's Honky Tonk Bar.
Okay.
Moonshiner's
I
Honky
know
Tonk.
it.
It's a good
I
time.
will get there one year to Tamworth because it does seem to be just an awesome.
That was my 18th Tamworth.
We get caught up in it.
18th Tamworth.
Wow.
Yeah.
18
Well,
Tamworth.
Taree's kind of like the neighbour
28.
town to Tamworth. I'm only 3.5 hours from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you still got to drive 3 hours.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
So do you do the trip on a daily basis, or do you stay in town when you?
Definitely stay in town.
Okay, good. Just getting that out of the way, because one of the things, Katie Brooke, when we were talking on the weekend, there were people that she had her first headline show in Tamworth, and she played at is it the post office or something?
Great.
Yeah. So and there were people that came just for the show and were leaving straight after the show. So they'd driven into town I think it was a morning show potentially. And yeah, it seemed such a phenomenal thing. Now, currently I'm looking at a photo of Jake Davey on the red carpet at the Golden Guitar Awards. Is that the first time you've been on the red carpet, or is that an annual
common occurrence
for you? Yeah.
That was my second time. I was on the red carpet for Toyota Starmaker in 2022 as well.
Gotcha. Because we do ask our guests, we do ask our guests a very special favor that next time you're on the red carpet, and I'll have to try and prompt you around the time to remember this, but we do like our artists just to look down the camera after they've been interviewed by whoever's going to be on the red carpet. In this case, it was Mel Dyer this year. And just say, I just want to give a shout out to the boys, and that's all you need to do. So that's our invoice, Jake. That's all we need.
I can make that happen.
Yeah.
We've only ever had two. One was Brittany Elise. The other one was this year with the wonderfully talented Katie Brooke. We've never had a bloke do it. So
funnily enough, I believe in Jake. I believe in Jake.
Me too.
I mean, we've got like 11 months to
yeah
let it simmer.
But there's a new project for you happening, Jake. So maybe you could be back on the show and tell us about that.
Yeah.
Then he gets in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's right.
Might win a golden guitar.
I think he could. I believe in that. I'm going to visualize that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I need something, the mantle.
So with this project, what's the run of that? When can we expect to see some new music, Jake?
I can't tell you that.
Okay. Will it be this
secret, Curly? I've already told you that I'm working on something.
Will it be this year, Jake? Maybe.
Braggy.
Come on.
You're pushing it, mate.
Okay. Well, I'm from Adelaide.
Reading between the lines, it either means that he hasn't started recording it all yet.
Love it.
It's all in here.
Or it's deadly serious. It's secret squirrel stuff, and
he's got a 4-month-old son. Of course, he's busy.
You know what?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I am very close to doing the final track list for this project.
Whoa.
Okay.
Which means it's closer than you think.
Okay. Well,
see,
yeah. So there's a bit going on.
Well, that's awesome, mate.
Yeah, it is. Jake, having a look at a lot of these people that you've actually played with, you've shared stages with the likes of Diesel, Braithwaite, Travis Collins, Brooke McClymont, Adam Eckersley. Is there any standouts that you really enjoyed working with, or gave you some special advice or something that inspired you, or were you just one of those support acts that just didn't really mingle with the main act?
I think I was very, very fortunate to go on tour with Trav Collins. He is family, so to be able to share that experience, I grew up watching Trav when I was like 6 and 7 on the back of a truck, and he's roughly 10 years older than me, so he was like already underway with his band and doing the thing, and I just wanted to like grow up and be a country singer after watching that, and for him to ask me to go out on tour with him and be able to share that experience. I did the tour, we like made a documentary, we had some really, really good times with him and the band. That was definitely a highlight for me.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's great.
It is absolutely. Well, Jake, it has been awesome speaking with you tonight. The only downside, Rossy, that I think is that Jake did admit that he was a Newcastle Knights and Manly Sea Eagles fan off air.
That could be a Manly supporter, really.
Lucky we didn't say that till the end of the interview.
Although, thank you for Daly Cherry Evans, by the way.
No worries. And I also if they're in the final, I'll go for the Broncos. That's like,
oh,
yeah. That is
like that's not right.
They've won me some serious cash over the years, so I'll go for the Broncos. Usually I go up against my dad, and it's always a great bet. And always Brisbane versus Storm.
So social media channels, which is the one that do you enjoy social media as a rising artist?
Do you do that as well after doing you produce yourself, or you do the video yourself?
Of course he does.
Do you do the socials yourself too? Yeah.
I was lucky enough with this video to work with my mate Jackson James, who is Melanie Dyer's partner, and he's we've been best mates for like 8 years, and so he's a super creative guy, and so we work together on the Workin On Me content. But yeah, like it's where my wife's an amazing photographer as well. She helps me out a lot. So yeah, I've got a lot of incredible people around me that can kind of help me bring that together.
Yeah, awesome. It makes sense now, doesn't it? Like when you talked before about the country community and how they come to help. Like we just as we get more and more country people on the show, there's a web that everybody's kind of intertwined somewhere. So see how that would happen,
Yeah.
It's the best.
Everyone. It's a great thing.
Yeah, it's I wouldn't change it for the world, and it's a small industry too, so it's good to stay connected and kind of help each other and do the thing. And I really appreciate you guys having me on tonight. It's been great.
That's lovely, man.
We're seeing this real resurgence of live music everywhere, I reckon. Yeah,
I think so.
We're seeing it in Marrickville. We're seeing it in Adelaide. We've got the country music festivals that continue to go from strength to strength.
It's the only thing that's not AI.
If I could swear, I would right now. No, let's keep it human.
Exactly. I agree.
All right. So, Jake, I'll make sure all of your links are in our show notes. So if you do want to check out Jake Davey,
JakeDaveymusic.com.
Yeah, you'll be able to do that by just checking out our show notes. And don't forget also Shazzy.com from last week, right? So
she said she actually said g'day from Shazzy. Tell him Shazzy says where's my invite.
She's a champion.
She's great.
Absolute legend. But next week's show, I'm still waiting on confirmation. So to be honest, we could have a young garage band on the show, and we may not. So we'll see what happens. So I'm hopeful that we've got the young garage band that I won't mention names just in case they.
What city are they from?
I believe they are a Sydney band. So fingers crossed.
I wonder if I know them.
Is what I say. So if you've loved what you heard, hit follow, share the show, and dig deeper into our playlists on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, and Amazon. Jake's music will be added to our Unfiltered and Undiscovered Every Damn Song playlist, so make sure you check that out. So we have more stories, more artists, more reasons to listen. This is Unfiltered and Undiscovered. Once again, it's been awesome having you, Jake, and thanks so much for coming on, and for everyone else, we'll see you next week.
Great
Thanks, guys.
Cheers. All the best.
Ciao.
Well, that's a wrap for this episode of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. If you've liked what you've heard, please do us a favor. Hit follow, leave a rating, and share it with a mate who needs some new music and a little bit of laughter in their lives. We're all about discovering the songs that actually mean something. So if you're into raw talent, great stories, and music that hits you right in the guts, you're in the right place, and we'd love to see you back again next week. Don't forget our Spotify playlists. Every damn song, every track we've ever talked about, rising female country artists, and undiscovered covers. And just now, they're not just available on Spotify. You'll also find them on YouTube Music and Apple Music as well. Now, we will be back next week with more music, more stories, and probably some more arguments. But that's what keeps us unfiltered. We'll see you next week.